Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do an action pose, and it's a sort of a crunch, running and punching action all rolled into one. Really dynamic, really awesome. So we're going to start on this side of the sheet, and for this one, if you check out our other videos in which we feature action poses, we normally start with the framework for the body, but in this case we're starting with the placement of the head because it is something that is in the foreground, and the head is like downward like that and like that. So we have the lines drawn out like that. What we're going to do is actually pick a pen to work this out. So the head is like that way, pointing that way, and the shoulder set, or the adjoining shoulder set right here. So the delts will go here, and there's a lot of foreshortening in this one. Real curvature of the back with the torso going like that, and the lower body is right there. So if you just do something like that, it'll be fine. So here's leg, so leg this way, and you can Google images and you will probably see a lot of content out there that features poses like that. So we have covered quite a few in our other videos. If you would like to check them out, you're most welcome. There's a fist, and there is the other fist, and fist is actually more suitable for this action. That, I mean, we can say with surety. Now the other leg here, this is the tricky part. So it would be, so that's the groin area. The leg would be joining somewhere here, but this is a really twisted action pose. So we have the leg right behind the body going like that. There's the knee, and there is the shin and calf here. So depending on what we would like to do, we'll go with some different placements. So first off, what we can do is make certain things stable, and so generic eyes, nose, mouth placement, just to show that the head is situated. So generic eyes, nose and mouth, just to show that the head is situated this way. And then the shoulders. So we should do a portion of the back here first, because the delts are going right behind the shoulder set there, and the arms are flowing out like that, and there is the closed fist, and there is the structure for the delt and the arm. And then there's this one where the delt is outstretched, and there's the punch being thrown, and the arm slightly larger than the other one. It doesn't have to be. We could make it in the same size if you want, and it'll still work, but it can also work this way, that we are showing that the body is like that, so kind of like that, so larger toward this side and smaller toward that side, and it really works. And there's some lat structure there if we want, or we could make it like very generic and not have any details going in, and it'll still work. So there is the thigh going into the groin, and then of course we have the portion of that leg, the other leg, coming in like that. And as we mentioned that on Google, these poses should be right out there for you to work with. But we are providing one source right here because this is a fairly very utilized action pose in comic books. And I'm not sure if we can use this in conventional illustration, and it will be very interesting. If we can, I think it will make for a very striking image if we want to base this on some poetic concept. But well, there's no punches really thrown in poetry except for the literal ones. But who knows? This might actually be instrumental for other things. But it's very good for practice of the proportions, the anatomy, the different sorts of placement. So right here, we can also do this. And that is, we can just push that leg outward like that, and knee, and then the adjoining. Again, it all has to be foreshortened, otherwise it will not work very well. And there's the foot. It can also work like that. It can also work if you need the arm like stretched out right here. I know that this is a bit messy, but in real time this is how things can actually work out. We can have the head looking down, but I think I would leave it like that and it would really work. Now on the other side, if we are doing another pose that is similar but with a different placement. So delts, shoulder set, and there we have a less curvature. This curvature is going like right back like that, and this one is going like that. There's the lower body. So essentially it is the same placement but different posture. Posture meaning that this is more of a running and rushing posture. This is more of a standing posture. And I think we are pretty much done exploring these two poses. So we'll just call them extreme poses, I guess. And then, of course, sorry, there's the other knee that can go right there with a hint of the foot if we want. Or we can just really crunch them up right there somewhere and just show that much. So either will work. So we will just take a second and outline our preferred primary pose that we began working with right here. And I would, even if you're not interested in this sort of artistic endeavor, I would really recommend doing this pose because it can, I guess, give a new perspective to placement, to extreme action, and perhaps, as we mentioned earlier, somewhat of an applied variation to different things. So right here, for instance, we have, if we had Captain America, there's the boots, and there's the famous shield, and well, he's throwing a punch, and we will do some of that. There will be some shadows going in, of course, in the crunched areas. There are some tones going here, tones here, again depending on the complexity of the art and how one would like to go about it. All those awesome situated tones can really bring up the image. So just with some tones we can give this a very different perspective. And why we did this is, like usually with action poses we leave the tones alone because the texture, everything varies, but this is an extreme action pose, and I think that we thought it might be beneficial to have some tones going there, and we chose at random to go with Captain America to wield the shield for this particular pose. So there we are, punching out some bad guys, but conventional and a very dynamic action pose that we can work with and perhaps use for other purposes. So please do check out our other action videos if you would like to go through some more practice. We put out content every day, so please subscribe, keep in touch. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.